Alright everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I've gotten a ton of comments asking me to make a tutorial on how to spray like a pro, so today we're going to break down how to master that zero recoil spray. Yeah, you've seen it, right? That perfect, stable, laser beam spray from the pros that just melts people from across the map. You might think it's impossible for you, but it's not. Today, I'm going to break down the exact system you can use to completely transform your gameplay. We're talking about turning those frustrating misses into super confident wins. Okay, let's get right into it. So here's how we're going to do it. We'll start with the foundation, your settings. Then we'll decode what zero recoil actually is. After that, we'll talk about your in-game helpers, mastering movement, and finally, winning the mental game. Okay, first things first. Before you can even think about controlling your spray, you have to control your game. And that, my friends, all starts with your settings. So why do these matter so much? Well, it all comes down to consistency and confidence. Think of it like a whole system. I mean, what's the point of having amazing sensitivity if you can't even hear where the enemy is? It's like fighting with one eye closed. Everything has to work together perfectly. All right, here are some recommended ranges to get you going. But listen, don't just copy these and call it a day. This is just a starting point. You need to jump into the training grounds and really play around with these numbers. Find what feels absolutely perfect for your device and your playstyle. Okay, so once you've got your settings all dialed in, it's time to get to the core of it. We need to understand what recoil actually is and how to break it down. So recoil basically comes in two flavors. First, there's vertical recoil. That's just the gun kicking upwards. Super predictable, right? You just pull your finger down to control it. But then there's horizontal recoil. That's that nasty side-to-side shake. And let me tell you, that's what's so hard to control because it's completely unpredictable. So how do we deal with that random horizontal shake? Well, here's the secret tip. The magic number is 5. If you look really closely at any recoil pattern, you'll see the first 5 bullets have almost no horizontal recoil at all. This is your golden window to do some serious damage. And that leads us to the pro spray method. Instead of just holding down the fire button and hoping for the best, focus on short bursts. Spray maybe up to 10 bullets, then pause for a split second to let the weapon reset, and then spray again. Trust me, you'll be way more accurate and your shots will connect more consistently. Now for my second secret tip. This right here is the #1 mistake that I see ruin so many sprays. It's all about something called the first bullet jump. So you know how the first bullet of a spray always kicks up way higher than the rest? Most people aim for the head. They fire, and that big first jump sends all the rest of their bullets flying over the target. I'm sure it's happened to you. So here's the pro move. Aim for the body instead. Seriously, that first bullet jump will naturally kick your second shot right up to their head, and the rest of the recoil becomes way more constant and easier to control. Alright, it's not all just about raw skill. The game itself actually gives you some tools, some unseen helpers, that can give you a massive edge if you know they're there. Let's talk about aim assist. This thing is kind of working for you in the background without you even realizing it. Remember that nasty horizontal recoil? Well, aim assist is what helps take care of it by sort of locking onto the target. But, and this is a big but, it's not automatic. You have to land your first few shots to trigger it, and then it'll help you stay on target. Just look at this side by side. I'm not controlling the recoil at all here. With aim assist off, the spray goes all over the place, but with it on, the spray is so much tighter and more controlled. You can literally see how much work it's doing for you. And aim assist isn't your only friend. Just crouching gives you recoil reduction that's almost as good as a compensator. And going prone? That gives you the most stability for that near-perfect zero recoil spray. So always remember, crouch or go prone when you spray. Okay, so you know how to spray perfectly. But a perfect spray from a terrible position is still, well, pretty useless. So now we've got to talk about movement and positioning, how to outsmart your opponent before you even shoot. Pro players are never standing still. They're constantly strafing, crouching, and jumping to be unpredictable. One killer move is the crouch joystick combo. Just spamming crouch while moving left and right makes you so much harder to hit. And of course, always use cover. You have to think about positioning like it's a game of chess. Know the map, stick to the edges of the zone, and if you get a knock, what's the first thing you do? Find cover, immediately. Then you can think and plan. And never push from the same angle twice. Reposition and keep them guessing. Alright, we have covered all the technical skills. The settings, the mechanics, the strategies, but honestly, none of that matters if you can't perform when the pressure is on. You have to remember this phrase, panic nahi, patience. It means no panic, only patience.
In any clutch situation, this is the golden rule. A calm mind is more powerful than any weapon in the game. Why? Because when you're calm, you can actually think. You can eliminate enemies more efficiently and win fights even with low health. When you're calm, you're relying on your training and your game sense. When you panic, you're just reacting. That's the difference.
So, how do you win a 1v4? You don't. You win 4 1v1s. Don't think about the whole squad. Just focus on isolating one player. Get the knock, then what? You immediately find cover. Don't get greedy. Reset, reposition to a new angle, and then you repeat the process. That's how you turn a crazy 1v4 into a series of manageable fights.
And there you have it. That's the complete roadmap, from the foundation all the way to mastery. You have the system, so the only question is, what's the first thing you're going to go practice in the training grounds? Get in there